Now let's consider our next loop control statement, that is continue. Continue is similar to break, but instead of terminating from the loop, it forces to execute the next iteration of the loop. Again, in order to understand this particular statement, let's consider one more example. We need to write a program which prints all odd numbers from 1 to 20. Let's see how we can write a program for this. So here is the program which allows us to print all odd numbers from 1 to 20. Here I have declared a variable I and one more variable n, and I have assigned it a value 2. After that, I have written one for loop. Okay. Inside this for loop, I initialized I with 1. I check the condition is I less than equals to 20 or not, and then I simply increment the value of I. And inside this for loop, you can see there is one if construct written, and I check one condition, is I is equals to n or not. If I is equals to n, then we simply evaluate these statements, otherwise we simply print I. Now let's see how this particular program works. As I is equals to 1 and 1 is less than equals to 20, this condition is satisfied. And we know after checking the condition, we need to go inside this loop if condition is satisfied. We come inside this loop and check this particular condition, is I is equals to n or not. As n is equals to 2 and I is equals to 1, therefore this condition failed and we come outside of this construct and print I. As I is 1, therefore 1 is printed. After that, we increment the value of I. Now I becomes 2. Now we again check the condition, is 2 less than equals to 20 or not? Yes, 2 is less than 20. Therefore, we come inside this for loop and check this condition, is I is equals to n or not? Right now the value of n is 2 and I is also 2. Therefore this condition is satisfied and we come inside this construct. Here we add 2 to this number. Now after adding 2 to this number becomes 4 and we simply continue. Now what does this continue mean? Continue doesn't mean we terminate from this loop. It simply means we won't execute the rest of the statements, but we will continue to execute the loop. Okay, so it is equivalent to break in the sense that the rest of the statements are not getting evaluated, but instead of terminating from the loop, we will continue to execute the loop. That means after we encounter continue, we increment the value of I and check the condition once again. Here the value of I now becomes 3. As 3 is less than equals to 20, condition is again satisfied. We come inside this loop and check this condition. As 3 is not equals to 4, right now the value of n is 4. As 3 is not equals to 4, therefore this condition is not satisfied and we simply print 3. After that we again increment the value of I now becomes 4, and after that we check this condition, is 4 less than equals to 20 or not. As 4 is less than 20, therefore we come inside this loop. Now 4 is equals to 4, right? So we simply add 2 to this number now becomes 6 and we continue. And when we encounter continue, we come at this point, that is I++. In this way, we would be able to print only odd numbers on the screen. Let's see what would be the output of this particular program. Here you can see we are only printing odd numbers from 1 to 20. That is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Now suppose if there is no continue, then what will happen? Let me comment this out. If there is no continue, then this printf function will also get evaluated even though the condition is satisfied. Previously, if the condition is satisfied and when we encounter continue, we come at this point. But if there is no continue, we simply come at this point and print the value of I. If suppose value of I is 2 and n is also 2, the condition is satisfied, we increment the value of n by 2. Now it becomes 4. And as there is no continue after this particular statement, therefore the printf function will get evaluated and it will print 2 onto the screen. And similarly, it will print all the even numbers as well. Therefore, the final output is all numbers from 1 to 20, right? This is what we need to understand about the continue. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture.